Now, if you've been keeping up with any of the content here on the channel and you've listened to the live we held the other day, you would have heard about the Fireblocks situation being raised and proposed, and more or less people raising the flag as they should do. Now, I've waited for some more detailed information as to what's going on behind the scenes and this whole situation that has started to unfold over in these little sectors. Now, these smaller sectors are very important to us because ultimately it portrays the picture to a lot of the other CEXs, smaller exchanges, and DEXs across board. This is very coincidental with us, well, not us, with certain people proposing to simply remove what coins they deem not in use. The risk of doing that is so grey, it shouldn't even have been proposed. It shouldn't even be suggested. But once again, the nuclear options are being brought forward by people who have brought nuclear options forward before. Thus, a previous person who wanted to repeg USTC just wanted to mint billions of coins to try and mint us out of debt when there was no value to the coin anyway. So you weren't just going to create value by minting a load of coins. You would have just diluted the supply, thus diluting the price. Now, this whole delisting thing is quite serious, and the risks of Binance delisting us are there, but ultimately they are still burning. They've agreed to a batch 13 burn, which has been dated and announced. As to which, I don't think Binance would be the people to delist us first. I think they would be more or less one of the last people to delist us. Now, what they're warning about is centralization and bad decision making. And the way that this is happening is in so many different ways. But ultimately, what other people are seeing and what these other institutions and financial institutions are actually seeing is, different teams choosing to privatize different sectors. And instead of this blockchain and everybody contributing towards the blockchain, it's not. Everybody's contributing towards their own wallets, their own projects, their own DEXs, their own station infra. Nobody's building for the system, and the risks are just becoming too great for a lot of these exchanges to simply stay on board with us. And I believe now with this coming up, this is 11 hours ago, this has been updated. This first came around when everything started coming up with this Risk Harbor fund. If people think that Risk Harbor don't speak to people like Fireblocks, and Fireblocks don't speak to people like TFL, and TFL don't speak to people like Binance, I think everybody's kidding themselves. There's a lot of money involved in the DeFi sector in general, and in the Cosmos specifically, there is a lot of money involved. TFL are likely going to do everything that they can to shut us down. And I've said to everybody many of times, when all of this starts to happen, when the exchanges start to delist and the validators start to run, where will they go? To all of the blockchains they've been building. Where will Hexagon go? Well, Hexagon will go and just carry on as Hexagon. There's no skin off of their nose. They just lose their paycheck. They'll have to go somewhere else. It's no problem for them. They have systems. They've got infrastructure that they own. It's all paid for. No problems whatsoever. It's the same with Terraport. So seeing Fireblocks stating that the risk of centralization is becoming too great. Where else are we very centralized? Well, with the voting power. My article the other day speaks mountains about the issue with centralization of voting power, and that's definitely what this is about, 100%. There's not many places that we're centralized. One of the other places we're centralized is with our endpoints, right? Because there's only 2 endpoint providers here on this blockchain. There's more than 6 on Luna. Those 2 endpoint providers are Allnodes and Terra Rebels, and no one utilizes any. It's a very niche amount of the community that do utilize their technology, and fair play for you for handing over your monomics and being so trusting. I myself can't take that risk. I've got validators. All of my stuff runs through that system, and I just don't trust them to have not swiped any information or anything. That's just my own personal opinion from past experiences. Seeing this, it's scary. It's scary, but it's also a warning to the community. Where have we seen these warnings before? Well, Binance has punished us before, has he not? Yes, he has, and he punished us for reminting coins. And I believe this is a signal, a strong signal being sent to our community saying, get your house in order, start building for your blockchain, stop privatizing things, stop filling your back pockets, sort the centralization of voting power out, And maybe, just maybe, they won't delist us. But the biggest issue is, right, is none of the big validators are wanting change. None of the big validators are suggesting change. The scariest thing for me right now is if we look at past proposals from the period of Terra Rebels getting funding and L1 getting funding, we've seen a bug bounty program which has been abandoned, and then my 2 proposals, and then 2 burn proposals. So what work has been done so far since the last spend prop? Well, the last spend prop was on the 6th month of the year. We're now on the 8th month of the year. Nothing's happened. Absolutely nothing has happened. So no wonder people like Fireblocks are looking at our blockchain and going, bad decision making going on, a lot of centralization, voting power's not ironing itself out. And I think this lends credit to everything that I've been saying. And ultimately, even the person behind it saying and raising this flag, fair play to them. Honestly, fair play to them. And like they're saying, remaining on Binance is the most important thing. It 100% is. The other thing we need is a trading pair between LUNC and BTC. It would help us so much. But if we want all of these nice things, if we want CEXs to put up those nice things saying, oh, well, we really support the chain, we support what they're doing, then we need to promote that change. A lot of people have got confused with my videos saying about putting a voting power cap, and everybody's saying, well, yeah, we should put it to 5%. That's really good. No, that is the commission cap. That's the minimum cap. We're talking, if we go to stake, we go to validators, and we look at the voting power, right? This would introduce a 7% cap. And what would then happen is any validators that are over 7% would be forced up to something, say a 15 to 20% commission in order to bring that back down. This would also ensure no node could ever get above 7%. So once these validators have been put into a position where their commissions have raised, they've gone below 7%, their commissions go back down to the 5% or whatever they chose to have them at, right? And then it never gets activated again. It's like a one-time purpose module that will begin to align the voting power of the community with the actual validators in this community. Like, another thing, as horrible as it is to say, you know, it's time for CEXs to stop leeching off of this blockchain. If Fireblocks are talking about delisting us, you know, it won't be long until someone like KuCoin goes, well, we're going to delist you too. But they'll still be there collecting rewards. And because we don't do nothing, because a community, no one speaks up, no one steps forward, no one puts the proposals up, no one puts the Commonwealths up, no one questions anything, we're just not getting anywhere. And it's everybody's always fighting for power. I don't want power. I don't want money. I don't want to pay out. I don't want to control the blockchain. I don't want anything. All I want is for this blockchain to prosper. All I want to do is reduce the running cost every quarter, make the blockchain more efficient, get to a point where we've got endpoint infrastructure that doesn't cost us a buttload, and then we can start investing in more endpoint infrastructures and bringing in a more decentralized system. But ultimately, we are just so small, we're so crushed that we just don't have a shot anymore. And this is the whole thing with my recent Commonwealth that's going to be moving to a proposal later today, likely. And it's simply just defund everyone. Let's take pause. Let's think about what's going on. Let's introduce this 7% VP cap. Let's get everything back in order. Let's not get delisted on Fireblocks. Let's do the right things. Let's please and appease all of these different higher powers that be around us. Look, I'm making poetry. Something has to give, and I never wanted to be the person that's at the front moaning about things and bringing up these things and saying about these different things, spearheading this, spearheading that. I didn't want any of this. It's just fallen on me. And now I have no choice but to continue fighting the fight that nobody else wants to fight. Orion, not saying anything. Interstellar Lounge, not a word. TCB, not hearing from them. You know, DF Lunc, they're burning a lot. They're doing a lot for the blockchain. Really good. Well done. Afzal, really, really integrated in with the community, doing what he can to change the community. And it's, you know, looking down at this set, going further down, seeing all of these different nodes and thinking, you know, all of these ones down here deserve to be all the way up here. You know, there's people building down here that have just got nothing. And then we've got giants like all nodes, you know, who do a lot for this blockchain. But at the same time, you know, you've got too much voting power. Whack your commission up to 25%. Get it down. The issue is money corrupts a lot of people. Now, when somebody wants something, for instance, money, they want, I don't know, power, they can be fed. Okay, they can be bargained with. You can bargain with an animal that wants feeding. That's the true saying, right? But what happens when you come across someone who doesn't want anything, doesn't seek power, doesn't look to control things, doesn't look to do all of these different things, and just wants to simply build for the blockchain? Become very hated. A lot of people won't speak to me. A lot of people won't even mingle with me whatsoever. It's, you've seen how TFL treats me. You saw how the quant team was treating me. I kept muting my mic over and over again. It's one of those things. It's not easy doing what I do, and seeing Fireblocks, putting out stuff like this. It's 100% in response to us as a community. It's real tight at the moment with this, really, really tight. And it's getting very, very close every single minute that passes by. If this passes, you can guarantee we will be getting delisted left, right, and center, and there'll be nowhere for LUNC to be listed. There'll be nowhere for USTC to be listed, and we'll just be another shitcoin on the back of PancakeSwap 2.0. Let me know what you folks think about all of this. It's not the nicest video that you want to hear, but it's the video you need to hear. Share this with people. Let them know this is happening. Let them know this is clearly a response and a backfire as to what we're doing as a blockchain. Show people what's going on. You have a responsibility to share this information. I don't ask it much, but I think this really, really, really dictates it, and really, really needs the community to really bundle together, get behind a vision, a visionary, something to actually get us to where we're going, not some developer who runs numbers and thinks, oh, this is better because it looks better on statistics. Life doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. Crypto doesn't work like that. The majority of it's all built on speculation, and we've got a very upset community. And when you have an upset community, we don't have investors. When we don't have investors, we don't have volatility. When we don't have volatility, what do we have? A dying blockchain with everybody just borrowing, begging, stealing, and taking whatever they can before eventually Fireblocks and other exchanges come for us, and they all move off to their lovely little situations they've built. Whereas someone like myself, what do I stand to lose? Everything that I've built, absolutely everything that I've built. My whole treasury is built on LUNC. All of my sales are built on LUNC. My treasury would become worthless. My NFT would become project would become useless. Rewards would cease to pay out. And it's the same for my Burn project. I've always built everything into this blockchain, and it's about time everybody else did and stopped filling their bloody back pockets. Like I was saying, let me know what you folks think. It's so important. I'll try to get back to you in the comments. Let me know what you're drinking. If you're drinking something, just let me know what you're drinking. I really want to hear. Stay safe, stay humble, stay aware. None of this is financial advice. It's all for educational purposes only, and it's all my own humble opinion. I'll catch you in the next one. Sure.